Welcome everyone. EMUC continues the penultimate game of the weekend, but the final game in the Open Masters division. It's GB against France. I'm Benjamin Rees, that is Giovanni Choppo Santucci. GB in the white, France in the navy, and it's the Brits on offense to begin this game. And what a game we have for you in prospect.
Good morning everyone. Hi Benji. This Open final is expected to be one of the most thrilling one of the day, even though we already had one good final with the mixed division.
Two good finals with the Grandmasters as well at the start of the day. It's a finals day that has delivered on the promise so far. And this game is a particularly intriguing, and we'll tell you why later, as Ford goes for the greatest. It's available and knocked away.
Wow, Benji, that's the first point. That's the first point that we already had a greatest almost in.
We told you that it was going to be some game worth watching. These two sides matched up in the power pool, and Great Britain escaped with a 12-11 victory. They were the, I think, clear favourites coming into the week. They were pushed hard there by France. So they know they are in for a tight encounter here. In that game, France broke on the first point of the game. Is it a case of double trouble for Les Bleus? Loadout out in front. Funk went for the bid, tried to come around the back of the receiver there, Amado, but I don't think he got that cleanly, to be honest.
Yeah, there was a foul, not contested. There was contact on the run, on the cut, before the catch. And thanks for the end signals, players. Thank you. And hi to all our subscribers and followers on YouTube.
Yeah, whether you're watching in GB, France, Italy, the other side of the globe, we appreciate having you with us here on ULTI.TV. Let's see you get active in that chat. Amado. With Great Britain's O-line just slowing down France after the turn here.
Yeah, great marking.
That's finally a bit of a release valve. Calmels has some tire, but Ford now gets into position, getting very perpendicular on the mark. High stall. Oh, and Ford got up because he knew that he was going to go for the bailout scuba. It wasn't quite there, Ford, and he released it. He had his head in his hands because he knew that it was going to ask too much. Abrams tries to toe the back line. I didn't see whether he was able to. He was called out, and he does not contest that.
Wow. Wow, the block was amazing. The block was great. He had a foresight to understand that between the count, the high count, and the choices that the player had, it was just an overhead, the solution. So great block, but then not that much of a great throw.
As soon as Ford released it, he kind of slapped his thighs in frustration because he knew that he'd airmailed it. Not seeing separation he likes downfield, overthrows the first receiver. The second, there's a hand in there from Colthammer to get it back. This game may be a little bit scrappier early on than both sides would have wanted.
Yeah.
Funk out in space to Ford, past the bidding defender. Ford with a little backwards roly-poly, now going for the break around to OG Ollie Gordon, and this time GB are able to hold on the game's first point as opposed to the break they surrendered the last time these two teams encountered, but I'm not sure they'd be happy with that one.
Yeah, how many times, Benji, have you said Ford for the goal of Ollie Gordon? How many times did this synergy played out for GB or Clapham?
Have a look at the replay. There's the bid that doesn't come up with the goods. Ford has a bit more space then to put the backhand to space for Ollie Gordon, and Ollie Gordon gets the job done. So a hold for Great Britain, but a couple of turnovers on the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's a final. Offense and defense and D-line, both teams are stressed. Maybe they are eager to get the game going, finish early, maybe with a nice win over the opponent. So maybe it was just a bit of excitement for this final.
And as we say, These two teams played out a 12-11 universe point game in the power pool, so they know how tight this one promises to be.
Ciao Dante, the first right on our chat on YouTube.
It's France's O-line on the field for the first time. The win. Has it back in his hands. Coavu with his brother Coaviet on the team as well. Now here's Gwen Tessier. France just being forced to shuttle it sidewards at the moment. Now maybe that might be the release valve. The trigger pulled and Fenrish gets good position. Past Noblet and throws it into the ageless Nassumbe Vogel. Clean hold for France. Ones.
Yeah, I mean, that was all on Benji. I think this catch and this point was all on the read of that deep huck. It wasn't that perfect, the huck, but the read and the body position in the box out were absolutely perfect.
We saw Fenrish, one of the French players who tore it up for the mixed side that won gold at EUC this summer. And I'm sure one of them, well, all of them would want to do the double here by taking home gold in this division.
Yeah, great. I mean, Nas is always there. He's always the first guy after the huck. If he didn't throw it, it's always the first guy either in the end zone or taking the dump for the swing or the assist. Good to see Nas scoring on the first point for France after being moved to the offense yesterday, actually.
Interesting. I mean, wherever you put Nas, it's not exactly bad to have.
Yeah, but if you have the disc in your hand, maybe it's better.
They've got Funk wide open on this swing with France zoning up here. See Abrams saying, let's threaten in behind these front three. See if we can draw them in a little bit.
Yeah, very loose first cup from France. It's a two-man cup.
Yeah, they'll have those kind of that little pair in behind. Gubo and U just flash in when necessary. Gainer down the line. Craig does toe just in front of the tape. Back. Ooh, slightly awkward one-handed snag there by Abrams, but a good adjustment. Now Gordon. Low. Another layout. They're making Craig earn his keep on this point. As he goes back to Gordon. The backhand put away for the flick. Abrams against a very tight mark here from Zubair. And too tight, I think, for Abrams' liking.
Yeah, Abrams is just telling him it's too close to it, but we know Zubair is doing that because of the height advantage. You want to put pressure on the disc. From 0.
Just going to make sure that everyone's set in position.
Yeah, maybe they're talking about some contact that they had. Oh, it was also a foul downfield.
Yeah. Mael Maurice matching up against Wilson as that one slung down the sideline from Abrams into Ford. 2-1 GB through 2 points. Justin Ford is I'll call it a quadruple single because he's got a goal, an assist, a block, and a turn. Quite a stat line.
Yeah. It's a quadruple dribble, triple double, triple at the third point of this final. So I'd say Justin is ready. It's here, it's present. We'll see. We'll see how this game goes. I mean, these two teams are so good. They're so fit, and they're still very competitive. Most of these players still had a full season with clubs and European teams at EUC, not just here. So we have some very amazing, fit and healthy player here.
It doesn't feel like a Masters outfit on either side, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's a master final.
The energy and intensity will be white hot out there.
Yeah, or blue hot if it's for France.
Umbe Vogel.
Foul.
Has a foul on the mark from Chris Baker.
I think I can walk off, frustrated by the stupid foul. More than stupid, maybe useless.
Has to take the reset. Going around now, Tessier. That one a little bit awkward. Haynes just tried to sneak a hand in there. Didn't get it, and a foul called by Eric Becker-Chagnon.
It was just, I mean, maybe they're just to talk about contact. Like trying to say, okay, next time try not to beat on my leg.
Wearing that tricolor sweatband to keep his brow clean. He goes out in front of Fenrich. Fenrich can't break past Kovshov. Vogel now. Another foul on the mark, and Baker seems frustrated with himself.
Yeah, he's just mad with himself. He doesn't want to foul, doesn't want to stop the flow. There's a bad fouls if they made it on purpose, but this is just, it seems guilty. It feels guilty.
Vogel rips it deep, looking for Fenrich. He's got the speed across the ground. Kovshov on the back shoulder, saying that maybe Kovshov came through him a little early. I don't know why I pushed you to illustrate, because the camera's not on us.
Yeah. Thank you, Benji. I thought it was someone was trying to pickpocket me or rob me, but anyway, it was a clean call and a clean discussion. So I guess that the bump was there.
Accepted foul there from Kovshov on Fenrich, so they'll check it in, and he's going to jog it to the front line. There's not a quick little offload available. Tessier tries to muscle his way past, and they squeeze it past the bidding Haynes, who bangs the ground in frustration. Eric Becker-Chagnon makes it 2-2.
I mean, you don't want to get Haynes mad. I mean, I saw him fly all around the pitch so many times. One time, he laid out so high and so hard, he landed on his hand and broke the 5th metacarpus. I remember it was against me. The hand was huge after he just played the game and then went to the ER. Like it's nothing. So I guess he's smelling the blood after this second point in defense. Let's see if Rob can find this layup block that he often get in his game.
So 2-2, both sides holding. Slightly sloppy first point where Great Britain turned it over twice, but both times France gave it back, and it's been clean since then, at least in terms of converting the possessions. Have been a couple of clumsy fouls.
Yeah, they tried different stuff. France after the first point, they put up this loose first zone with 2 men in the first cup, so we'll see. Rolling pull now.
Wants to pin them quickly on the sideline. Bignall puts it back into position 3 meters away. Mum rips it to the line and then rips it deep. He's looking for Wilson. Wilson and Cragg got behind, and it's practically stealing for GB. If you don't stop the instant deep shot, it's gonna go, and more often than not, it's gonna work.
Yeah, I mean, the purpose of the rolling pull is to be there early and not allow them to play from the center of the pitch, but actually, because the sideline of GB was so aware and they stopped the disc into the 3 meter space, I mean, they just picked the disc up, you can see it. All the cutters started running up, and there wasn't really much of a defense because it was the cutter on Wilson was way too under for that position, and there was no help far away from the farthest defender of the farthest cutter. So either you screen the huck on this big man, Tom Abrams, or someone needs to be on help at the deep end of the field.
Yeah, maybe you just keep that force a little bit flatter to put a bit more pressure, because he had too much space really there to step out and flick it for the score. So GB to have rather than an O-line and a D-line. They've kind of got 3 sets of lines, all of which are named after wrestlers.
Wow, didn't know that.
Undertaker, I'm trying to remember who it is. Undertaker, Jake the Snake, and Rey Mysterio, I think.
Nice. I know two out of 3.
Here's the deep shot from the win. He's looking for Becker Shonyo. Garner picked it off, but foul called.
It's always a tricky foul. The tripping foul is always a tricky one because the defender is going to say that he was riding straight, and the kara say he got tripped because he was in front. So either way, it's always tough to say because the defender can say that he wasn't watching at the disc, he wasn't watching at the guy, and who's crossing in front of who. So I'd say we have Tom Abrams here signaling that it was an uncontested foul, and it is indeed also on the pitch.
So Bekesh on you from the end zone line. Nas tries to isolate himself against Espinosa, and he does so, and that's 3s.
So you don't want Nas to get 2 points out of 3 from the opponents, because if Nas gets the train rolling and steaming, it's tough to stop. A bit like, as we said before, Tom Abrams with his hugs. You gotta stop the big mans, otherwise the other team is gonna get in the rhythm. Or as Davide Mori would say, rhythm.
Second goal already for Nas, getting him cooking early on. Never a bad thing for an offense.
Yeah, this is Matt J from our chat on YouTube. Yeah, Benji, is it unfair? Does it look unfair for Justin Ford to be in the Master Division?
I'll be honest, there's a lot of players out there where it feels unfair that they're a Master's age.
Yes, exactly the same thing. I thought, like, it's not just Justin, it's a handful of them that really are still prime athletes in their top prime.
On both sides, 100%. Howell running a 1-2 with Abrams. I'm trying to just figure out what France are doing defensively here. Just seems like a sag on the handlers to prevent the deep game that GB thrive on. And Howell and Abrams are just somewhat sneakily getting a few yards here and there, and they manage it again.
Okay, now they're pairing up. I didn't like the poachy defense on Abrams.
Abrams again looking for the put. Wilson again is the target, and Wilson again scores for Great Britain.
This is crazy, guys. Did you see this flick huck? The power on that forehand to get that reach, standing still. It wasn't moving. It wasn't an upline pass, so you didn't get Tom Abrams didn't get the momentum of his body. He just decided that still in 4 or 5 to just book it down the field, and Wilson with the amazing cut and the big run was just able to catch it easily into the end zone.
3 assists now this game for Abrams, and they've only had 4 0 points, so, you know, not bad. And Choppo, I agree, the old Italian hands, the pinched fingers, he is cooking up some delicacies.
This is madness,
right now.
guys. This is madness. I mean, I didn't like the start of the point for France. The poachy defense on the ender allowed them to take half of the pitch without even sweating, and you want to take out Abrams. You want to take out of the game Abrams, I think. So as soon as he has the disc, you should take him out of the dump space and let him run away. At least he can huck those big, beautiful hucks that he just threw.
I mean, you understand why they were sagging the lanes, because, you know, the second they went tighter, Abrams put it.
Yeah, true that.
That one has a really good reaching grab made by Becker on you. Van Rich tears up underneath and gets bumped by Kovshov.
Oh yeah, there was just some shin crossing, I'd say. I think that the cleats got stomped on Benji shin or foot.
That one all off the hands of Tessier. That one's just a drop.
You don't want to give this GBD line such easy chances. You want to make them work for this turnover.
The French D generated 2 turns on the first point. Couldn't convert either of them. What can this GBD line do? Bignall powers his way up the line. Now spreads wide to Kovshov. Fresh off that remarkable gold medal in the mixed division at EUCF with deep space. Baker with the high release to Haynes.
It's a nice matchup, Haynes Nasser.
I mean, to be honest, there's scintillating matchups all over the field. As the lefty Bignall goes for the hammer to Noblet. Can Noblet get it off the line? Rising stall, it's low. Nice slide there. Bit of style from Penny.
Baseball catch.
And
baseball slide.
Foul called by Penny. Koivunuin doesn't seem to agree.
They're arguing about whether it was him moving towards the marking player or Nguyen, or if it was Nguyen moving towards him when he stood up. It's always tough to decide in this case. What do you think, Benji?
Without having another look at it, I'm not sure. I think more often than not, it tends to be that the defense is at fault. And I did see the signal in the end for the accepted foul. They've got the release valve of Haynes, who has it. Haynes, not quite in the end zone yet, is Bignall. Bignall goes for the leader right through the centre. Fenry spots it. Oh, I thought Nas was going to put it as well, because Fenry has such speed along this grass. But now defenders not quite in position. The front offense not quite able to take advantage though.
Things are getting heated here. There was a travel call. Nguyen wasn't actually marked, so you're not supposed to call travel if you're not changing too much direction and if you're not marked. But still, you can take advantage of the run and not stop at all. But it looks like Nas made his voice be heard, and Francis starts from there.
So, at the second time of asking, what can the French offense do? The underneath pass, dished off there from Carriol. Now Becker Chagnon, he wants to put a bit of air underneath it, looking for Fenrich, and we said that he had easy gas, and he shows it again there. That is fours, as Haynes fakes to throw the hat before giving it back. He is such a weapon stretching the field.
I mean, Becker just threw it very, very flat, very hard and fast at the bottom of the end zone, and Fenrich was able to arrive there, and not just, he didn't even need to lay out, or he just caught it, pancake catch at the bottom of the end zone. This was what a bad turnover for GB. They were so close, but kudos to the French O-line to defend so well, even close to the end zone. Look at this, it's so tight.
I think when Becker actually begins to catch it, Fenrich is still behind him, and he takes off deep, so that by the time by the time he turns around, we've got it, let's go.
Yeah, Fenrich is a menace. It's a real menace now.
True enough. There he is, Benjamin Fenrich. Good name.
Yeah.
Not that I'm biased.
And it's another rolling pool for France. Let's see if this plays out as the first rolling pool.
Yeah, GB didn't seem to be quite as ready for it on this occasion.
Okay, there's a big change in just all GB line, all Clapham enders.
And that one put deep again for Wilson. This time Abrams is off.
Yeah. This time they made him do the hardest throw between the two Hawks, so at least they got that. And there was also the deep man ready to poach and go away from his man to help to save the day.
So third break chance for France. Their first since the first point of the game. Neither side has hit on their opportunities so far. Floated into the end zone. Michon. Zipped through the inside channel.
Hey, some travel here.
Pops it backwards. Macon. Oh, over top, too high. Kohlhammer couldn't quite steal it all the way into the end zone, but Bredar was powerless to stop the pop to forward for the score.
Yeah, unlucky around break, back and break, but we need to say this, Benji. A little breeze is picking up from that far sideline. So I guess player needs to be aware of this, because this around break got picked up by the wind pretty early, and yeah, France couldn't do anything. It wasn't a bad throw, it was just picked up by the wind. Anyway, good marking from this GBO line. It was almost like a huck and D.
I mean, I'm sure that's not quite how they saw it, but that's how it worked out in the end.
Yeah, exactly. They made two passes in this. They made two passes in this point, if you think about it. Tom Abrams, and then was just.
True. And there you see, he's just showing too much of that under edge to the wind there, Guillaume.
Yeah, and then it was just Kohlhammer, just popping it for Justin Ford again.
So the GB pull.
Nice pull.
It's got a bit of hang time on it as well. That never hurts.
Do you prefer short and hanging or long and fast? But fast.
You know, I'm not sure. That one, nice break into the center for Van Riech. Van Riech, back to Becker Chagnon. Little soft touch around. Lénard. As Becker Chagnon fakes blades. And Vogel.
So, cause? There any cause? Some violations?
People seem to have stopped. I'm not sure why. I didn't see a hand signal.
Yeah, there was some communication, I think, in between players. But from the sideline, someone thought there was a call and stopped the game.
So back in play now. And Vogel back to Becker Chagnon. Struggling a little bit to find an outlet. And then, whoa, he pulled the trigger on that one so lightning quick that I'm not sure anyone, bar he and Van Riech, knew it was coming, but they link up again to tie us at fives.
Yeah, Benjamin Van Riech liked this little score with a bit of a stare down after. Here you can see he caught it, and then in the replay we will see he caught it, and it was just a bit of a stare down on that poachy layout, and he just served in the disc right in front of his face.
Yeah, we told you it would be tight, and so far we have not lied.
Look at this. It was a bit of a stare down, and here it is, your disc.
But you know, don't get too heated. Just calm yourself down and walk away.
Yeah. I mean, I like celebration after points. I don't mind the other guys celebrating.
Neither do I, but I think more for your own team, the last thing you want to do is get in a confrontation and maybe fire up your opponent.
Yeah, true.
But I agree with you. Scoring's fun, right? You're supposed to celebrate.
Yeah. I mean, in soccer we have dancers. In football, American football. Sorry guys, I talk like an American. In football we have dancers and stuff.
They've almost got full choreographed routines.
Yeah.
And I think, providing you're not provoking your opponent or damaging the disc, I don't really mind, to be honest.
Yeah, there's no need for taunting. 10-yard penalty.
But as we say, scoring's fun, right? You're supposed to celebrate. So more zone now from France. Again, just trying to change the rhythm, the tempo of the game. Ford going all the way around. Abrams just getting a quick look at where the sideline was. See if he needed to tow it in. He did not. Howell shows the scuba and shelves it. So he goes around to Abrams. He's in lots of space, but not seeing any particularly tempting options.
Yeah, France is stopping the flow pretty nicely now. All the enders are pretty clogged up here.
Ford to Abrams, bounce back to Ford. Howell's wide open and now in front of Funk, and he put too much on it. Funk laid out, but it spun through those gloved hands.
Yeah, it was completely free. Didn't expect that throw to be so far apart from him.
And quite so zippy as well.
Which wrestler has brought down the disc now and maybe can score?
They're on to midfield. Dunant.
Is this the Undertaker line?
I couldn't tell you. But they might have dug their own grave.
Oof. Oof, Benji. He's such a point.
Zubair takes the time out here. I think he knows the importance, the enormitude of this opportunity would be the game's first break, and they are beyond midfield.
Yeah, now France has a big chance of breaking right before the end of the first half. I mean, 5-6 now, 6-5 now. Sorry, for France would be a huge gain for them. I mean, stopping the GB offense looked almost impossible for anyone but for France during this tournament. So, who else could put them in such a tight spot?
I mean, we know breaks are going to be at a premium. There were just 3 total in the first matchup between these two sides. 5-all here. France looking to get the game's first break. Open Masters final at EMUC.
We live in a world where everything can be referenced online. Imagine if the greatest moments in our sport were never filmed. Eurodisc continues to do what it takes to make free-to-watch live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that help to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. Eurodisc.
What a grab! Oh my God! Somehow they do it!
Here we are, Benji, back at it.
5-5, Great Britain, France. Open Masters final that we knew was going to be close, and it has proved to be as such so far. The sides deadlocked, neither able to break, but the French D-line has generated themselves a few opportunities. This is their 4th. Can they finally make it stick?
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, I talk for experience. It's not the hard. It's hard to make the GBO line turn, but it's even harder to then score on them because all of 7 players can defend and know what to do to prevent the D-line to score because they know what D-line likes to do to fast score, and I think they know their opponents.
Wilson checks it in on the mark. High grab, but well made. Ooh. Can he break Cragg off the line? He can. Plus. Doesn't see the break side. Still rising. Oh, that's slow. And I was surprised Zubair didn't bid, but I guess he knew it was not going to get there. Abrams, there's the flick he wanted. Over the head of the defender. Ford's not quite in the end zone yet, though. Gordon provides support. So does Howell.
Look at
and
this.
the simplest of pops off from Ford to Gordon, and he said it's one thing to get the disc, it's another thing to put it in for a D-line against this GBO, and they again earn it back and go back in front at 6-5.
I mean, brothers on the pitch, brothers outside of the pitch, brothers from another mother, obviously, but I mean, you could see, look at Justin Ford. He saw Ollie Gordon riding along, you could tell that he was trying to throw to him. He wanted him to catch the disc.
He has a quick little look at Howell there, but I think just to sell Zach Ale the wrong way, and
exactly.
Gordon was always his favoured target
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I mean, it's so many years they play together. They know themselves so well, and also the fact that they're friends outside of the pitch helps them to get in sync and have a good synergy, I think. Both in the fitness business in London. After some adventure in the financial district of the British capital for some years. So 6-5 GB, but France had the chances, just threw them away.
GB's D-line have only managed to turn France once, and they gave it away in the red zone.
Actually, France had some very clean nice clean holes, more than GB.
They have indeed. GB's D-line got further with it than France's have, but neither has been able to make anything stick. Espinosa gets it on the mark.
It was a hit. It was an unlucky hit on the chin. There was a bump and two players collided. Maybe the tongue was involved or the teeth. There was some biting. Yeah. All is good.
The Mexican Espinosa on the mark. Nguyen gets the space up line. Ghana.
Look at GB with a deep poach.
Can't prevent the around to Mbe Vogel. Tessier. Squeezing it through. Mbe Vogel. Loves that up line that Nguyen gives him. The springy Nguyen throws that one to Ollie Gordon. Just crossing over to play a little bit of defense.
Many things happening now. There's a pick involved and there's now an injury call for the previous bump they got.
Yeah, you can see Gordon and Ford crossed over to the D-line here because GB thinking, okay, let's see if we can create a little bit of separation.
And there's a turn.
This might be the opportunity. That's the first turn that GB's D-line have really earned because the previous one was just a drop from Tessier, and now they have three of their O-line stars out there. Gordon, Ford, Abrams came in off the stoppage.
Some pulling for our hermano here. But Benji, first turn for François, but look closely at this D-line from GB. Did you see something new? Someone new on the line?
Yeah, you've got Gordon, you've got Ford. They subbed Abrams in off the first stoppage. They've subbed Funk in off the second one. Haynes has played with the O-line as well this tournament. So, yeah, it doesn't look much like a D-line out there, does it?
Yeah, I mean, even before the two injuries, Ollie Gordon and Benjamin Ford just sticking to the pitch after the previous offense point. So now we'll see how it goes.
So Ford. Swinging to Abrams as Ford plants and goes back to that backhand side. Mark sags off to just cloud up some lanes downfield.
Nice
Abrams
swinging.
Flicks to space for Funk. Funk with the rip, he's looking for Haynes. Haynes gets on his bike, and that is the GB break. The strategy works. Put some of the big names over so they can power your D-line after the turn. And France are being made to rue those missed chances. GB with a 7-5 lead.
My God, Benji, we couldn't tell if these guys are master or not, but we can tell that their hands through hundreds of thousands of this, because these hucks that we're witnessing today, they are all great. I mean, Tom Abrams before with the big flick, some backer throw into the for Benji into the end zone for France, and now this amazing flick. Look at this, nice swinging from Abrams, and then Funk just tearing it down the field for Haynes, that I guess it's getting some frustration out after this score.
I mean, there's two of them there, Preda and Mbe Vogel, and neither of them were close enough to stop Haynes from streaking deep.
I mean, it's crazy. these throws are completely out of. They're just led by the experience of these guys and how well they know each other. Ains now is playing for Chevron, but he was used to play for Clapham, so I guess Funk and Ains know each other pretty well.
And Haynes is one of those players who is only just Masters age. And I know this, A, because I've got the information, and B, because he was in the year above me at Sussex. So I know that he's only just about squeaking in there.
Was it the bully at Sussex? Was the big guy bullying you in Sussex, or was a good, nice guy from the big years teaching you?
To be fair, when I started, he only played about half a season before he tore an ACL, and he's had some rotten injury luck. So it's always good to see him out there at full flow. But no, I love my. As I think people know, I'm very proud of my ultimate lineage.
Yeah, here we are, guys, on YouTube. Love to see the chats going on. Yeah, Midas touch. Indeed, it was a GB power D-line. We saw it. There was few changes. Justin and Ollie stayed up for 2 points in a row. And let's make 3. Benji, let's make 3 points in a row. This GB team wants to choke the first half with a break and halftime point.
Nice hanging pull fielded on the end zone line by Lenard. Umbe Vogel. And again, you see Gordon and Ford staying out there.
Good spacing for France.
Faking the backhand. Can they get this off the line? Bevan will try and trap them. They find the inside through. Nice dish off there to Becker Chonio, but nothing developing immediately. Her loose mark allows the offhand to go. Fenrich. Back to Becker Chonio. Wants to sit this one out for space. Oh, Garner saw the opportunity. And Umbe Vogel just seemed to have that preternatural sense to know that this is fine. Nothing to worry about, but that one, the coverage was too close for comfort. A little bit offline, and Gordon helps to get the block. How much he knew about it, I'm not sure, but it doesn't matter. And GB utilising the timeout with a chance to take an 8-5 half-time lead. How quickly this game seems to have flipped in GB's favour, Chopper.
I mean, I've seen it so many times. It's just 1 point and 1 point, and then they take 1-2 breaks in a row, and then they wants to force you on the third one. I mean, there was just one issue with this France flow at this point. Number 8, Mathieu Carriol, was completely free at one point. He was completely poached off, but they couldn't get the dish to him because of the marking. So we have to say congrats to this power D line now, and also Ollie Gordon with his endless arms, always there.
7-5, Great Britain leading in this Open Masters final. There are so many reasons to outfit your team in Force beyond just looking the part of a champion. Force offers professional design services with their dedicated graphics team. All apparel is produced in France. Force works with a local labour team, and their raw materials are sourced in Europe. Force insists on transparency with no hidden fees and international express shipping. Look the part and play the part with Force Sportswear.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
fund
our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Here we are, Benji.
7-5, Great Britain leading France. Benji Rees, Giovanni Cioppo Santucci with you.
Ciao ragazzi.
And having just earned their first break, the game's first break, Great Britain look to put the hammer down. Bevan underneath to Ford, those two long-time rivals on Clapham and Chevron, but linking up now. Bevan gets it down the line. Travel
There's a
called and sets
travel.
the spot. I think just saying, look, you can't call the travel on me and then keep stalling before I get back into position, as Nguyen accepts the foul.
There was a foul on this block. So no block at all.
Ford against Mbaye Vogel in the reset. Two legends of the game. Bit of air underneath it, looking for TT, Dave, Tyler.
Very wide on the line.
Ford with the hammer into space. Tom Martin Hall toes the line. GB break to take an 8-5 lead into half. France generated 4 break chances, couldn't take any of them. And then GB with 2 clean breaks on the spin, and all of a sudden they've got a 3-point lead.
Unluckily, we already saw it, Benji. We were saying during the timeouts. This was looking like a potential big break for GB.
Yeah, GB do not tend to give up leads like this in a hurry, in all honesty, but as the first game between these two sides showed, there is not a lot between them, and France absolutely have the firepower to come back into it in this second half, but they have got a heck of a job on their hands against the reigning champions in this division from 4 years ago in Madrid, Great Britain.
They had the chance to break, so France just need to keep that going and actually score.
That's the one thing they need to do. Yes, they've done really well in generating the break opportunities. Can they finally find a way to convert? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that is live and free right here on ULTI.TV.
Wait. Isn't this for the other apparel? We've got like new stuff, right? Bring it in.
Feast your eyes on the new fan version of our iconic ULTI.TV sweatshirts. Great fan gear available for you. Check out our new range of colors and insist on staying warm and looking fresh. Shipping is available after EUCF. Get your fan gear and be one of us.
Great Britain leading France here at half. Open Masters final, the third of our 4 finals today. Masters women, it's still to come in just under an hour's time. But before we have that, well, can France find a comeback here? Benji alongside Giovanni Chopo Santucci and, of course, Andrea De Rosa, our chief statistician this tournament.
Buona domenica.
Ciao. See, he exists. He's not just like a mythical figure. He is real, we promise.
He is mythical, but not a mythical figure.
True, yes.
Come on, friends. Let's spice this game up.
What have you got for us in this second half?
I think actually France will be able to break. I don't know if GB will stop breaking, actually. That's the question mark.
Here's the ponytailed Tessier, although it's tied up into a bun. Bignall bidding on Mbaye Vogel, doesn't get there. And underneath now, Carayol. Carayol with the high release. Nice grab made by Becker Chonyo. Going all the way over. Haynes can't believe it. As caught by Tessier. to make it 8-6. A clean hole to start the half for France. That is exactly what they would have wanted, Chopper.
Yeah. Now, you see, now if they put pressure and actually get this break, it's just a 1-point game. I mean, we're not that far off. We still have a good game going, but France needs to stay focused. They already got the turnover. They just need to score. This was an amazing flat around assist by Becker. On those throw, the danger is always to have that disc floats too much, but this time it was right flat enough to go into the other top corner on the far side of the end zone. Look at this. Ains mad because maybe he could have jumped to stop that disc.
I think he didn't expect it to go, and to be honest, I didn't expect it to go either, but that is the field vision that you saw there.
Yeah. Rob is mad at himself since the first point. And it's up. Here we are, Benji with Tom again, the disc on the brick mark.
Yeah, the man they call Mum has been a master distributor so far. Howell.
Mum, because he's careful, he's very caregiver with his teammate.
Howell with the French D-line trying to cause as much confusion and noise as possible. Gordon works his way free. Gordon putting the air underneath it. Abrams climbs the ladder to tear it down just before the help defender closes in.
Yeah, let's give it the props to who deserves this. Holly with his great footwork on the reset, just enough. The hezzy was just enough to get him free on the upline, and the flow kept going.
Have a look at it again on the replay.
Look at this.
Gordon gets it down the line, plenty of space, and
maybe a bit higher than he wanted this to be, but Tom, look at
the athleticism. He got himself in such good shape for the World Games last year.
Yeah.
Where I think maybe there were not questions asked, but maybe a couple of eyebrows raised about, is Abrams really, we know he's been good for a while, but, would there maybe other people to take that spot? But he came in remarkable shape, and I think he more than proved that he earned his selection there, and he was brilliant in the club scene last year and this year as well.
I guarded him a couple of times last year, more than a couple of times last year, in a couple of games. And it was in such a shape, it was a rocket now.
Yeah, full credit to him for thinking, no, I've still got gears, I can go up. There's plenty left in the tank.
Okay, Pochi, far wide marking for GB.
Becca Chagnon.
France is not clearing up really well.
Nice switch passed off there by the front of that GB defense, with Nguyen looking for some give-go motion.
Finally Nas with the disc.
Umbe Vogel. Again, it's all going through the handlers right now for France because they cannot get that downfield separation they want. Tessier.
Oh, a lot of switches from GB on the handlers.
I like it being proactive. But France, to their credit, staying patient.
They need this point. Still a lot of contact. Again, Becker Senior and Rob Ains involved. So I guess, I mean, the body language and the communication is great, so they're not frustrated with this. They know it's tough. It's a hard-fought game. Looks like there's a position was recovered now from Becker.
Accepted defensive foul, so that'll reset the stool. Mark Penny to check in.
Yeah, there was also a travel call.
There's the big flick bomb looking for Becker Chonyo, and he plucks it down with aplomb.
It's good communication, Benji. Sorry, I was looking at the guys talking. There was actually a pickup, but it was completely out of display. And this was just well put.
You could say that, yeah. I mean, in a French team that has its fair share of stars, Eric Becker-Chonyo certainly is one of the brightest lights.
Also one of the youngest.
One of those players who has crossed the Chak is no divide.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. When I started, Chak and Itzno weren't that brotherly love.
No, it's like playing for like Real Madrid or Barcelona, where it's seldom that you saw players switch from one to the other.
Yeah, I mean, in your country, Benji, you can't go from Manchester United to Manchester City or from Chelsea to Arsenal.
No,
what's worse?
It's probably maybe even Liverpool to Man United. Those two teams hate each other, or Spurs to Arsenal.
Yeah, maybe that's the bloodiest.
When Sol Campbell made the switch on a free transfer, the Spurs fans were less than impressed, I'll put it that way.
Shout out to Campbell, if he's watching us on YouTube.
Which I don't think he is, but you never know.
Maybe probably it's a subscribe on our Patreon then.
Oh yeah, that'll be it. Funk with the zone. Floats it around to Ford, and now back to Funk.
Zone again for France. Two-man cup with a wide third man on the back of this cup.
And GBR content to slowly matriculate the disc down the field. Wilson just not quite in the right space at the right time for Funk's liking.
Yeah, you see there's Zubir and Mel Maurice on the first cup, covered on their back by Emmanuel Guibault. It's a two-man cup, but the man behind them is looking for crashes.
Seems like a transition's come, and it is indeed a match defense now, trying to force them on that trap sideline. Colt Hammer probably gets too much air underneath it, in all honesty, but not a problem for Abrams to tear down. Now another lefty in the form of Magnus Wilson.
This is pure clap and play.
Colt Hammer to Abrams. Ford has Abrams tearing down the line, and he shows the threat to go backhand into the centre to Cragg, who's got room to work with. Tossing one up now for Ford. As the sun begins to beat down ever stronger in Bologna, the offhand to find Cragg just outside the end zone. Gordon, was he able to tiptoe that one in? Not quite. Resets his feet.
They do want to make the third point together.
Gordon, high stall, goes for the offhand.
Hey!
And Justin Ford.
Is there any issue on the line or the contact?
From the angle we have, I couldn't see. I'd have to watch it back on replay.
Sorry, Benji, gotta say this. Shout out to my Italian women team on the corner right there, watching Justin sky this disc. They just won the third place.
Ah, who did they beat in the third place game?
They beat Belgium in the third and fourth. Thank you, Steph, for the stat.
You see there the high stall doesn't want to put that one out to Cragg and just puts a bit of loft underneath it. Go on, go and get it, and Ford just plucks it down with aplomb.
Oh, so actually it was called not by Maurice, but from Guibault, who saw, I think he saw Wilson push, but it was too late. The disc was already in Justin Ford hands. What a sky.
10-7, Great Britain. See there after an early turnover for Justin Ford, 3 goals, 3 assists and a block. as Marquesini
We're going into
delicately holds the scoreboard.
we're looking into a 6-tuple double. Benji, what are we looking at now?
It's not bad, whatever it is.
Yes. Does he want to make the sum of his stat to be the 28, his number on the back?
I mean, that'd be somewhat incredible going, given that you can only score a combined 15 goals and assists.
Well, I'm not good at math.
It's all right, we'll let you off. That's what I'm here for. It's also why they invented calculators.
Yeah. My life is so easy.
And the win, going back, now they want that 1-2. But Lennart, not free enough from Kerf and the wind's liking. Low, and the layout block steams through from Matt Bevan.
I mean, the man is as handless energy and endless life. I started playing, he was already a senior in his team.
He's been a leader for so long as Garner picks up. Wants to go down the line to Bevan for the bookends. It's 11-7 GB, the first turnover of the second half. Bevan more than earned it, and he punches it in for a 4-point lead.
Look at the affection of the team. Look at, they know what it means to see him laying out and scoring for an important 11-7. I mean, what more can you ask from the top senior players of your team? That's what you want. That's what you want to see. That's what you want to feel in these important games for gold medals.
Yeah, leading by example.
And he got the layout D on the amazing Benjamin Farish. Sorry. So, I mean, what else can you get in 1 point? Layout on one of the strongest opponent, and then the score, the bookhand.
Yeah, started
On Nas.
on Nas, you are bang on. Started as a school kid 23 years ago. Now a coach with the Flux program. That is one of the leading lights of the junior ranks in the UK, out in Leicestershire. As a timeout called by the French, understandably feel like they've been sucker punched somewhat by the bookends from Bevan. How can they answer? We'll find out when we return here at EMUC.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
Great Britain up 11-7, 4 points in front with 4 needed to win. France now have to more than double their opponents to taste victory in this one.
Ball.
It's a tough ask, but they've got to approach it as if they believe, and believe me, I'm sure they believe as Karayol tips, but it doesn't matter because Fenrich is applying the backup.
That was lucky. That was lucky, Benj.
Lennart to Fenrich. Nice reaching grab by Becker Chagnon. Again, that tricolor sweatband must be more than moist at the moment. Being made to work hard out there. Tessier. Sees the inside. Ooh. Tried to flash in and get the block, did Penny. Now he's out of position. There's a poacher on the far side. Run it through him, France, if you want the score. Travel cool. I think, yeah, you could see that Lennart was going for a little bit of a walk there. A little bit of sloppiness that gives the GB defense a chance to get back into position just past the bidding mark, who is on the floor.
I agree with that call, Travel, and I don't know what happened. I think he just slapped his hand really hard, or there was a contact maybe on the throwing hand, the slap, or something.
So all good to carry on. Disc will stay here with Mbaye Vogel. Red zone for the French.
Good defense on the handlers.
Has to make Mika Shonyo lay out just to ensure possession. And Zumpe Vogel with the drop. I'm not sure I've ever seen that from him.
Oh my
Baker
God.
wants the dagger. Noblet is going to chase it down. Oh. He laid out and it was just too far. I thought
It was
for a long
so
time
close.
it was there.
It was so close. I think he got a hand on the disc right before he touched the ground, but it was too far away. Just slightly touched it. And there's also an injury after the big layout. Yeah, he needs a rest. He needs a breather. Obviously, he hit his hand on the ground or the wrist. And now now France, sorry, has the chance to get this offense.
I thought for a moment there that maybe Noblet actually slowed down a bit because he thought wasn't quite aware of how much pace, how much distance the Huck had on it.
Yeah, actually, for those who are here on the field, the slight wind that was before, now it's also a wind coming from your right side of the screen to the left side. So it's going to push the disc a bit more.
Faking the flick. Back to Mbe Vogel. Finds the inside through. Carayol. Almost dropped earlier in the point. But Fenrich spared his blushes. Mbe Vogel with a laser Kovshov. Oh, flew in to get the block, didn't. It's an equally spectacular grab from Becker Chonyo. He finds Fenrich. And France could not have afforded to let GB convert. And what a way to put yourselves back on the board.
Yeah, I guess France, after the timeout, wanted to play a safe point. And they did. And they did in the first time. But then when they got the disc back after the GB turnover, they said, okay, let's make some Euro play. And Nas, I think, threw this a bit more tighter than he wanted, but still Rico Becker. Amazing jump.
Right. I mean, it is spectacular. It felt like the pressure was building a little bit and that they felt like, we have to get something going here. We need an energizer. We need a big play. Mbe Vogel says, you know what? It is time. Let's go.
Wow.
And what a Superman-style grab there.
Yeah, it was a layout to make sure he has the whole hand on the disc. If he had to run, probably would have caught it, but it would have been a real tight gap to get the disc.
And to retain the focus to do it past the bidding Kovshov as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Somewhere in the background behind me, with the women's teams warming up for the Women's Masters Final. Fleetwood Mac's Dreams comes over the headphones. And both of these sides dreaming of gold medals.
Thank you guys for the likes here on the chat. Let's put a like on our live session on YouTube and subscribe to our channel on YouTube and to our Patreon.
Ford. Distributes underneath to Colt Hammer. Colt Hammer, not shy of zinging it into the deep space himself. So goes underneath to Abrams and he finds Ford. Ford to Funk. The backhand. Back to Ford.
No counting.
Gordon motors into the underneath space. The little upline floated to Ford. There's a pick away from the play.
Yeah, there's another pick. Now Justin, there was a switch now. I think Justin has a bit of a mismatch on this end-zone play. So I am activating pretty early.
Ford goes short to Funk, back to Ford. They're trying to utilize the width of the pitch. And it gives them a bit more space. Gordon can't backpedal his way in. He might not need to, as he can just zip it in there to Crag, who's able to get free in that throne booth at the front cone. And it is now 12-8.
Yeah, after the Ollie Gordon has this before the sky from Justin, they wanted to rehearse again the same synergy. Justin Ford for Ollie Gordon. You always see Ollie very wisely waiting to catch the disc and trying to gain as much yardage as he can when he's close to the end zone, but this time he had to. I mean, that's such an awful job, always to get all these passes right in the front of the end zone from Ford, and then had to make the assist. Such a dreadful job.
$12-8. 4 in front, 3 to win. It is getting late for the French out here.
Yeah, unfortunately.
In the heat of the Bologna early afternoon sun. Tom Wilshire, or as his pronunciation guide indicates, striker with the pull.
Yeah, someone is cheering for him from home. They just said that they want him to, they hope he can sky somebody.
I mean, he's got the height to do it, and I'm reliably informed by his various teammates through the years that he is one of those people who's just great to have on the team because he brings just good vibes all round. Along, of course, with being a formidable defensive presence. Fenrich.
French. Oh, look at GB with this almost no counting type of defense.
As there is a pick, the disc goes deep from Mbaye Vocal. Becker, Chagnon and Garner tussling for it. Garner did remarkably to tap the disc to himself. There was a pick a long time ago, so I'm not sure it matters.
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
They'll talk about it. By the way, brilliance, utter inspired brilliance from Becker Chagnon in the reception.
Yeah, there was a nice body battle, box out battle, and at the end Rico managed to get the disc. Didn't look like Garden was aware of the call, so I would say that the call is still going, but it happened before the hack pass.
You probably heard what the crowd think of it.
Yeah.
And again, as we do point out, no crowd has ever liked any call ever.
Probably. Let's see. Nas is talking it out with Devon. I think he's getting back. Unfortunately, the disc is back. Maybe Nas has another chance to put it a bit more in the center of the pitch.
Feels a shame to waste it. Just see the trailing end of it there. Had to almost tip it to himself just to get it past Garner, but they are sending the disc back.
Unlucky now, France.
Jarrah has managed to get himself a Netherlands jersey.
Wow.
So the pick happened quite a while ago. You could see it in the center of the field. It certainly didn't affect the first throw, I don't think. I mean, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant from Rico.
That's focus, 100% focus to get that disc. He tipped it and then touched it, and then the defense was there, and then he got it anyway.
The pick in no way affected that first throw as far as I saw it. Did it affect the player providing backup because maybe he stops because they see something happen? I can't quite see because the defender would be out of the picture there for Fenrich.
Yeah. We're hearing what they're saying on the pitch, and I can say that Devon was indeed there at the moment of the throw. It was there because Nas is saying that he's not well positioned, but actually he was there. Yeah. And here he's talking about actually on the replay, you could see that Devon was right there at the moment of the throw. Look at this. You see that dirt square where there has been many cuts? Look at this. Now Nas has the disc. Devon is going up. And yeah, you see by the time the huck starts, Devon is right there. Maybe they're wearing all those people in the middle of the pitch. That's for sure.
Did the discussion need to be quite so lengthy and heated about this?
Yeah.
Probably not.
They didn't like the call, and then now they don't like the repositioning of the team. Nas is not happy with the staff and with Devon. I don't think Devon is misplaced. I think other people weren't there at the moment of the hack. For example, we have, I think, number 8, Mathieu Carayol wasn't there, but
The upshot of it is that it is still French possession. The theatrics from Becker Chagnon unrewarded as of yet. Tessier. Goes for the offhand to lead through to Mbe Vogel, past the unsighted Zamore, and he's going to blade it over the top to Becker Chagnon. That one's going to count, and it's 12-9.
yeah, I think that was too much of a flat marking on the force. He was there.
Have a look at it on the replay. It's a lovely leading throw, and the advantage of those lead passes is he can see things developing in front of him. He says, Fenrish, just get out of that space a little bit, because it means that we can blade this one over the top to Becker Chagnon, who's trying to whip the crowd up here to get behind the French.
Yeah, you see Rico scoring, and right after scoring, turning around and making the again and again.
Sorry, can we just look at that stat line? 2 goals, 5 assists. He's gone absolutely nuclear.
Yeah, no. It's since yesterday, but also since Thursday maybe. But Becker is going crazy, and Nas is always on the set line to represent his team. 7 minutes to go in this game.
Fading, drawing out of the end zone on the far side. And Abrams more than happy to watch that one to the floor. And he's just going to jog it back up to the brick mark. Abrams swings to Wilson. Again, you can see they are just sagging off those handling marks. And Great Britain is gonna, I expect, just almost smuggle a few yards away here and there. Like they're bringing some fine Bologna produce through customs. By the way, we do not endorse that.
Yeah.
Funk to Ford. Just puts a bit of air underneath it. Easy enough for GB as Cragg gets back on the scoreboard. That's the second 0 point in a row for GB that he's converted. They're now just 2 away from the win.
Yeah, Benji, I mean, how can you stop this offense? They look flawless now. They're all on the open sideline, on the open force. France was doing a flick force, and GB just played it all close to our side, close to our tent. Look at this again. Nice inside break again for Justin Ford. A nice little pop-up for the alone man into the top corner of the end zone.
GB have only turned it over once in the second half, and that was from their D-line. Their offense has remained faultless since the interval. There's the goal scorer, Cragg.
So, now, 13-9. Do you think, Benji, that if France gets a break now, then can still be considered open, not the division?
I think until that final point is scored, I've seen the quality in this France side. It can happen. GB maybe have had some of the sheen knocked off they had in previous years, because we know that the club teams have not been flawless this campaign, and you know, the national side didn't capture gold at EUC, and yes, France took them to Universe earlier in the tournament as well, so I'm sure they still believe.
Yeah, true. But I mean,
the winner at half field.
Yeah.
Becker Chagnon goes offhand to Nguyen. Fenrich back to Becker Chagnon.
Nas signaling Leonard to play because it's poached.
Becker Chagnou wants to shoot this one over the top. Oh, the field vision. I did not see that developing, but he pins it onto Tessier to 13-10.
Yeah, Nas was shouting into the pitch to Leonard because Leonard wasn't playing actively while was poached. So actually, he wanted to a wide pass, but instead Becker Chagnou just decided that he wants the assist just to get to feed this stat line that looks like crazy. It's 2-6 now, 2 goals and 6 assists.
I mean, can't really argue with that.
I mean, wow. Will we see a French break now?
– 13-10, Great Britain leading. Can someone double check, Steph?
Here, France trying to get this thing a stop, and the thing is the GBR line. So now with the rolling pull, and it's not a perfect one. Justin stopped it and cut it on the volley.
Funk to Howell. Funk points into the backfield and gets it. Now Wilson loses his hat, but importantly keeps the disc as good grab made by Ford. He is inbounds. Foul called and accepted there by Maël Maurice. Part of the ISNO side that made it to the semi-finals at the World Masters Ultimate Club Championships last summer in Limerick. Going with the offhand to Maurice. Foul called by Ford.
Yeah, you don't see that misthrow by Justin, so maybe there's really been a foul. Let's wait for the replay to say that. I don't know now because I don't saw hand contact, but I think Justin told him that the disc was still in his hand when he touched it. So I don't know. Let's see here at the replay. I don't see a lot of contact. It's very fast, very close. It looks like it's accepted.
It's certainly not the release he would have wanted, as you say. It is accepted.
Another foul.
Maybe this time looks like something downfield.
Yeah, I think he called defense or no. Yeah,
it's an accepted foul away from the disc. That much is clear.
Yeah, exactly. On the first man on the stack, or the defender on the stack. So it's from zero. No, from zero. Yeah, coming one. 2 minutes to go.
That one
in this game, but there's another foul.
Yeah, an accepted strip there by Michon. He was close, but he knew that Gordon had that and very fairly quickly accepts. Funk.
Look at this isolation. Look at this.
Well, the cut from Gordon went a bit early because otherwise it was there. Breaking inside into the center. Abrams around to Funk. GB 14-10, one away from gold.
I don't know from home if you saw this and watching us live on YouTube, but after the call of the Justin lefty, there was a nice isolation with really great spacing. The stack was all down on the bottom of the end zone, and they were all guarded. Benjamin Ford and Funk just playing that ultimate out in a free way, and then Funk got the score in the opposite corner.
So the hooter will go during this point, but regardless it'll be a game to 15 at this point, of course. There you see the the disc that went back, and Maurice puffs out his cheeks a little bit frustratedly, perhaps.
Yeah, Maurice very close to Justin all point, but couldn't get the stop, couldn't get the pressure that he needed to, like, not stop, but limit Justin. And now we are at the first game point. Take that, Steph.
14-10, Great Britain leading here. Game point for Great Britain. If they can get the break here, you'd love to finish it on defense, but they know that their offense is going to get enough chances to do it if they can't.
Yeah, they're gonna try to be as precise as the GB people. They want to be in time. They want to finish this game in time.
Fenrich. Low, but not too low. Umbe Vogel goes back to Nguyen in the backfield. Surveying his options, Umbe Vogel takes off, but you could see Dave Tyler just peel off to go with it, and now they hit the player that he poached to do so, Fenrich. Fenrich, oh, that one is low as well, but still inbounds, and Wilshire points the spot before starting the stall. Umbe Vogel on a line to Fenrich, on the doorstep.
Nice offense now for France.
Still unable to cross the plane so far. A lot going on, but Becker, Chonyu and Fenrich just have that preternatural ability to hit the spaces. France with the hold, 14-11. Can they find the breaks they need to win, given that they've not broken yet this game, and GB's O-line hasn't turned it in the second half? It's not an easy task, to put it mildly.
But yeah, I mean, imagine you never broke this game, and then they broke you for the 13-12. That could be mentally disruptive.
All of a sudden, yes, maybe those doubts begin to creep in.
But you can see GB is playing comfortably. If you know the roster, you saw that this D-line didn't have any extra player. They didn't mix any line. They just want them. They're just rotating players. Bobby just came out at the previous point, the last previous point of GB in defense. So they're actually rotating players. They don't want to fatigue the star players too much, even though this is the final.
So the other French teams on the sidelines desperately trying to power a comeback, as again, stratospheric stat line for Rico Becker-Chonyu.
Or very unlucky Hux, always a hint short for him.
Well, but then you say if they put him a bit short of the end zone, if they didn't, then he'd have fewer assists, but he'd have more goals.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
You know, he has been pretty much uncoverable, but it might be in a losing effort.
Pochidi for France again.
Colt Hammer underneath to Abrams.
I don't like this. Too much time for Abrams to think.
Forward. Gordon cuts off the back. Now comes underneath. Really zings the blade short. And Ollie Gordon slides onto the knees and dishes it off now as Justin Ford surveys his options. He pulls the trigger. He's looking for Colt Hammer. And Colt Hammer with...
He's checking if Rico is good. But I guess the score is good. Yeah.
Well,
he just started.
We'll just have a breath because Becker-Chonyu is not necessarily in a good way down there. French medical crew is coming on to check. There is a replay.
It's good.
Of that pass.
Everything is good.
Becker-Chonyu up against Colt Hammer, and oh my God, his hip was in Becker-Chonyu's face as Colt Hammer with the punctuation mark. Great Britain 15-11. Your EMUC Open Division in Masters category champions.
Wow, I mean, even though the score was 15-11, this last hack is the perfect sum up of this game. I mean, fast, tight, with a cutter very close to his defender, and I mean, Becker tried to put the paw on this disc too, but it couldn't. So Congrats to GB. Congrats to GB. Congrats to his legacy, because he's still rocking in the master division this time. And look at these smiles, all these white shirts. I mean, they deserve the win, Benji. They played a very nice game. The offense had the struggle in the first half, but they always get it back.
Yeah, then it was a struggle for them at times in the first half. Those 4 France break chances all came in the first half, and they couldn't convert on any of them. And 3 for 5 on break opportunities for the Brits, because generally when they turned it, they converted. You see that they've both got the same number of clean holds, but just 15 turnovers total. A very clean game from both sides there. Thanks again to our friends at Force for helping to power our match stats. Delighted to be joined as Chopper makes way by Ollie Gordon. OG, congratulations.
Thank you very much, Benji. Appreciate it.
How are you feeling?
Yeah, pretty good. We didn't really know where we were going to be coming into this game. Obviously, we had a really tough game against the French in the pool, and we knew we had to bring it from the start. The slightly wider pitch definitely helped us, and I think we offensively adjusted a little bit to that with their poaching in their zone. But yeah, ultimately we just really wanted it, and we brought it here today, and I think that showed on the pitch. But credit to the French, it was another tough game, and great final to be a part of.
What was the main adjustment you made between that game and this, obviously knowing how close the French pushed you?
Yeah, so I think, as I say, their zone was very effective against us in the first pool game. We analysed it a bit, and we talked about what we could do to capitalise on that. As I say, I think the more space we had with a slightly wider pitch, the previous pitch was a little bit narrower, meant that we had a bit more space behind the disc, and we had confidence in our handlers just to attack up the line. And the cutters just to be a little less active in that space. We obviously had a few pool plays that we ran against them that worked quite well off sort of one pass hucks, and I think that put them under some pressure as well. But yeah, we knew we just had to bring a bit more this game, and I think we did that in the end, which is nice.
Obviously the first third of the game was incredibly tight with no breaks, and then just at the end of the first half there was a bit of a tactical tweak to bring you and Justin over towards the D-line. What was the message that the leadership gave you?
I think it was just to give the offense a bit of a different look in terms of the French offense. Our D-line's been playing really great all weekend, and we had full confidence in them, especially around the handlers. Their intensity has been really great. But just to give them a bit of a different look with a couple of offensive players that maybe they wouldn't have faced up against, particularly in the earlier game. And it seemed to pay off with a couple of blocks and those points. So yeah, I mean, everyone on this line can play defense as well as everyone else in the tight moments. So it was just a bit of a different look, and I think that showed that it was quite effective in those moments.
Which of the 3 rest of the lines were you on? Were you the Undertaker, Jake the Snake,
so
or Rey Mysterio?
I was on Jake the Snake, which was our O-line in theory. And yeah, a couple of D lines with Rey Mysterio and what was the other one?
The Undertaker.
Yeah. Classic wrestlers. I think that's Bevan's influence, but no, it's good to have a bit of fun with the line names as well.
Before we let you get back, is there anything you'd like to say to people watching and supporting you back home?
Hey, look, it's been a really, really great atmosphere. We love these sort of pitches where there's a stand and there's people close on the sidelines, and I think the whole atmosphere, the whole tournament has been great. It's good to see some locals out as well. I know Justin and Davide went to a local school, and there were like 200 school kids there, and I think just to show face and sort of help the community, as Davide and the Italians have done in this town, has been really great. So yeah, thank you everyone for turning up and being a part of this event, and it's been a really special one for us. So I appreciate it.
Well done. We'll let you get back to it.
Thank you, Benji.
Well played.
Thanks a lot, ULTI.TV as well. Great.
Well, you're too kind there, Ollie. Great to be able to have the players step into the booth after the game, and we are always grateful that they are generous with their time, and yeah, just keen to talk to us, and yeah, give that little bit of extra insight and analysis that, well, we can do our best here in the booth. We're not quite out there, and so yeah,
I'm back.
It's nice to give that little bit of edge to the coverage. What a game that was, Chopo. France, full credit to them, because they did bring it, and you know, they forced GB to play into a tough game, and GB admitted that they knew that it would be, but Great Britain just had that little bit of extra quality in the end.
Yeah, the expertise of the GB lines, I think that outplay every other team, because they're not just expert, but they're also expert in those tight games, because all the players in that team are used to finals, are used to tight moments. There are Chevron that this year won the final against Clapham, and there are also, obviously, the Clapham big roster that it's helping them to arrive at this point and still be fresh in their mind and focused and know how to handle those situations.
So one more game left for you here at the European Masters Ultimate Championship, and it comes in the Women's Masters division, and France and Great Britain are at loggerheads again, both undefeated, who will take home the final gold medal of the week. There's only one way to find out, and that is here on ULTI.TV live and free, of course, as all our coverage is, as you see the Spirit Circle there. So make sure you're liked, subscribed, ring that bell for notifications as well, and go onto patreon.com/ULTI.TV, and for as little as maybe a beverage a month, you can help grow the spread of the game. On behalf of all our brilliant ULTI.TV crew and Choppo alongside me in the booth, it's been an absolute pleasure working with you this week.
Thank you, Benji. Me too. I had so much fun commentating, so like and subscribe. ULTI.TV, best in the world.
We're going to throw it over to the women's final next with Steph Rapazzo and Laura Farofi. On behalf of all of our crew, we'll see you on the other side for the Women's Masters final.
Ciao, ciao.
Being me, I don't make it easy, but I'm worth a while. All that I ask is for you to please my every need, to put in the time. I'm through trying to tell you what to do, how to make me fall for you. You should learn that on your own. I play cool, cause I hope you pick it up soon, and you know just what to do. Don't you? Boy, just be honest. I know you want it. Put some work into it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Merci beaucoup.
Yeah, Ultimate.
ULTI.TV.
Tell you what to do, how to make me fall for you. You should learn